Warning, this podcast contains adult language, mature situations, anterograde amnesia, romantic intentions, mathematic equations, fun day trips, and... what were we talking about again? Anyway, listener discretion is advised. Episode 253, Patience, Persistence, and Understanding Can Win You Love. Hello and welcome to another episode of the Spiraken Manga Review, some podcasts and vague reviews about connected enhanced narratives. I'm your host Zan, saying konnichiwa, aloha, bonjourno, what's up? Yes, we're back for another fun-filled episode of the podcast, and more importantly, this is day 2 of our week of podcasts to catch up for the last couple of days I missed because of, well, I had a lot of stuff going on, if you remember from the last couple episodes. But I digress. If you're joining us for the first time, welcome. Spiraken is a podcast that provides informative reviews about connectedly enhanced narratives. Every episode, I will talk about 1 to 2 mangas and tell you the pros and cons about it, how the art style is, the characters are, the humor, and if it's worth investing your time in, or if you should avoid it like the plague. Now, you don't have to agree with anything that I or my co-hosts say, but we try to be as informative, entertaining, and non-biased as possible. That way, you get a nice little even-handed review of the material. Now, sometimes we may not be as non-biased as possible, but that happens with anything. You know, it's either really good or really terrible. Anyway, you can check out any of our earlier episodes at www.spiraken.com, and you can email me personally at zan@spiraken.com. That's X-A-N, not Z-A-N. We're also on Facebook, Twitter, Tumblr, Instagram, PSN Network, the Nintendo Switch Network, Apple Music, Player.fm, and Stitcher. And anything else, you just type in S-P-I-R-A-K-E-N. You'll find us online somewhere. Also, if you want to do something really cool, follow us on Instagram, on Twitter, at Facebook, or at Tumblr, and leave us some messages and comments. And if you're on the iTunes Apple Music Store, give us a couple of stars on the page so we can actually up our data a little bit. Now, anyway, so now that that's out of the way, let's get to the podcast at hand, shall we? So, if you remember from the last episode of the podcast, I spun not only the Wheel of Manga, and it dictated to be there reviewing a manga that was written by Matcha Hazuki and published by Square Enix and Yen Press. It's a shonen series that's technically a romance, comedy, drama, but I say it's kind of a 4-coma because it is that 4-panel format. It was released in 2012 to 2015. There's 7 volumes. There is an anime TV series, and there is a live-action adaptation as well, which I think was a Korean drama. I'm not entirely sure. Actually, no, it was actually a Japanese drama. And the story I'm talking about is Ishukan Friends, or 1 Week Friends. So, the whole premise of this series is very simple. Our main character, Yukihase, is this second-year high school student who, he's just average, but he notices that there's this one girl in his class who he kind of gets a crush on. She doesn't talk to anybody. She seems very aloof and very, get the hell away from me. And this girl's name is Kaori Fujimiya. And while she's shy and a little unusual because she doesn't talk to anybody, she is really good at math and Yuki finds this really interesting. So one day, it's time for class cleanup, and Fujimiya, Kaori, is picked to be cleaning up, and they need a volunteer. So he says, I'll do it, I'll help out. So he goes to help her out. Things work out. He does help her out. And at the end, he starts to tell her, hey, would you like to be... He's like, I can't do anything. I gotta go. So the next day, lunchtime, he goes to her usual haunt, because she sits alone upstairs in the roof. And he says, oh, listen, is it okay if I sit up here? I don't really have anywhere else to go. She's like, okay. And they end up talking. And she says, you can't be friends with me. I don't want to be friends with anybody. And he's like, but you know what? I think you're a good person. You're really nice and you're sweet. And they end up starting to have a bit of a friendship, kind of. But they're not friends. It's, he helps her out with math. He brings out a deck of cards. They talk because apparently her memory is really, really good. And he says, and they start talking about their lives, how he studies a lot, but he's stuck at home a lot, but he'd love to one day go out. He likes reading, to go out, do something, maybe go karaoke. And she wonders, is karaoke fun? I've never done it before. I've never gone out. And it seems like she's really happy and they can be friends. Then at the end of the week, she tells him, listen, I want you to pretend that this week never happened. All this time we spent, it was great, but listen, I'm going to forget it. At the end of the week, he's like, wait, what do you mean, what are you going to forget it? I can't forget you. I can't pretend it didn't happen. It's like, listen, I forget. I lose all my good memories every Monday. She doesn't know why it happens, and she doesn't lose memories of her family, but she loses her memories. And he's like, well, you know what? I know how to fix this, because I still want to be friends with you no matter what. I want you to be my friends. I'll ask you every day to be friends. Well, listen, write a journal, because maybe it'll help. Even if you smile a little bit, if I make you smile, things will work out, because I've always wanted to be your friend. And she's like, okay, we'll try this. And it starts becoming similar to a movie that Adam Sandler and Drew Barrymore made called 50 First Dates, where he has to remind her every Monday that they're friends. But she does write down the information. It's not like he has to redo it, because she does remember things. She remembers bad memories and basic memories. Like she remembers what happens in school, and she remembers mathematical equations, which may come into play later. But so they have now this relationship with him having to remake a friendship every week, them starting from scratch, and then them having fun together, and them trying to figure out what happened and how to make things better. Because she does get a little better, because she actually starts making him lunch, and she starts being really nice and sweet to him. Eventually she finds out that she can remember little things about him because of math equations. Like, there was a math problem he was having problems with, and she helped him do it, and the next week he says, oh, so what about the math problem that we were talking about? And she remembers it immediately, and she remembers him, that they were talking about it. So maybe they'll get together, maybe they'll not. There's also another friend that shows up who is his best friend, Shogo, who's kind of this aloof, the typical quiet, smart guy who everyone keeps away from him, and he tries to be Kaori's friend too, and she remembers him, so she doesn't see him as a friend. But Yuki, she doesn't remember because that's her happy memory. So something is going on as to why she's forgetting. What it is, we don't know. But we'll have to wait and see. And the manga is really cool. It's interesting how the premise of it is the kind of amnesia issue. It's anterograde amnesia, which means that you can't form new short-term memories. And it's fascinating that they did a manga based on that. And it's just something that is just unusual, because you wouldn't expect that. I mean, yeah, it does seem very similar to that other movie which I talked about, but it is different in a very good way. She doesn't forget everything. She doesn't forget that what day it is, what year it is. She just forgets her happy memories. She doesn't forget her family, though, which is the weird part. She doesn't forget them. Don't know why. And she knows she's growing up, so it's a weird version of it. It's kind of select grade, but I do digress. So the art style is very simplistic, but it works really well with this series. And even though it's a shonen, it has a very shoujo-esque vibe to it, because everybody is very pretty, they're very simply drawn, very minimalist. No one has noses, their noses are little dots. But you get used to the character design, and it's a bit endearing, because you can tell the characters apart. They're not all the same. The backgrounds are a little weird because they are minimalist. There are a lot of just hashtags and checkerboards and slashes, or just fonts of images, like when they're smiling or happy. It's very simple. And I find that endearing in this series. there's a lot of great personality traits to the characters themselves. They're not one note. Yuki is not just the, I can do everything, I'm amazing. It's no, he is someone who's not good at math. He likes manga. He's terrible at cards. And the thing is, his driving force is he wants to get Kaori to be his friend, and he ends up eventually falling in love with her. Kaori, on the other hand, she is jaded. Whatever has caused the anterograde amnesia has messed her up bad. They kind of hinted it, but they don't say anything of what happened because her friends, her old friends, treat her like garbage now because they think she's mean and cruel, so something happened in the past. And I want to know more of what's going on with that. And Shogo is just a mystery guy. He's the least generic character there is. He's the guy who's the typical genre character. So, I mean, there's probably more characters that do show up, but now, the other thing I do have to mention is that while the hook is the amnesia every week, which is pretty interesting, I don't think that it will last a long period of time. It's going to get old quick, so they better update and quicken this story. They have to have some punch with it. Maybe they reveal the amnesia reasoning, the cause of it, ASAP. I mean, I could see maybe one more volume of them dealing with this, her trying to remember, but I don't know. Maybe they fix it, maybe they don't. I mean, I could spoil it and look it up, but I don't think that's what I want to do right now, because I want to just enjoy this manga for what it is, because it is a nice manga, and Matcha Hazuki did a really good job with it. Now, besides that flaw of the story can't go on forever, and that it seemed like it's a ripoff of 51st Dates, the only other issue I really have with it is that that's it, actually. That's the only issues I have with it. Just those two issues. I can't think of one. My brain just kind of, right now, I know, forgetting things. Haha, hint of the manga. And on the one hand, I was debating about giving this a Give Her Me Crazy Aunt Muriel, but the fact that I do enjoy it so much, and it's a nice read, and it's a thinner manga than usual, I'm going to have to give this a borrow from a friend and don't return unless offered Pocky, or if you forget about it, because it is fun. It is good. It's a nice twist on the story. And it's very rare that we see these Yonkomis that have 6 volumes of Yonkomis, and then it goes with a normal chapter every so often in the present day. Because the last one I really remember seeing was Helvetica, which is a terrible series. I'm not even going to review it. I don't even want to put it on the manga wheel because it is just... Helvetica I don't like. It's really just a bad option. It was made by the creator of... the one with the teacher who flipped over the deer. I'll remember in 1 minute. I should know this. I'm the manga guy, but brain's kind of forgetting right now. However, it's a good series. I really do enjoy it. Now, with that in mind, remember you can check out any of our earlier episodes at www.spiraken.com. You can email me at zanspiraken.com or on Twitter at Spiraken. Also follow us on Instagram. And so let's get to that part you've all been waiting for. And what am I talking about? I'm talking about that one. That only. Except no substitute. Now, if you're wondering, the Wheel of Manga is a Wheel of Fortune with 10 slots on. What we're going to do is we're going to spin that one, that only, the Wheel of Manga, and whatever number it lands on, that's what we're reviewing the next episode of the Spiraken Manga Review, episode 254. Only 46 episodes away from episode 300, and I am psyched. This week, though, I'm a little bit crazy because we're going to be doing it for the next, until Saturday, so it's going to be a lot of repetition really fast, so these are going to go quick. Anyway, so let's spin so we review the next episode. Pretty good spin. Number 5. So, in the next episode of the Spiraken Manga Review, we're going to be reviewing a manga that is called Hotel Since 2079. I'm curious as to what's that about. Well, we'll see. Should be interesting. I mean, it's about a hotel. Maybe it's about some weird hotel. It's some clandestine, strange place with something weird going on. Well, we're going to have to wait and see. But anyway, thank you guys for listening to this podcast, sticking around, and thank you for the well wishes. I do appreciate it. I can't wait to see what we're going to do next on this lovely podcast. After this, we've got a couple of plans going on, including Anime Boston. I've applied for a bunch of panels for, and Anime Next I've applied for a bunch of panels for. I have not done anything for CPAC because, well, It's kind of last minute. I'm figuring I'll take a break from CPAC this year, but we're going to see what we're going to do next. I can't wait. Like I said, if you have any questions or comments, email me, zan@spiraken.com or spiraken@gmail.com if you really want to be cool. Anyway, I guess that's it for this episode. This is your host, Zan, saying I'm Gonzville. I'll catch you guys next time. See you.